How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Today, in episode number 78 of Uncut, we are going to be revealing to you guys the Bears' 53-man roster and going over all of the roster cuts that they made on roster cut day. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're putting out content every day for you guys. Today was a long day waiting for roster cuts to happen. So I would like to say we are trying to hit 2.5K subscribers by the start of the season. If you are new to the channel and want Bears content every day of the week, do us a favor, click that red button to subscribe, click the bell for notifications whenever we post. And if you are returning to the channel, do us a favor, drop a like on this video. The like goal for this video, you guys killed it with the 50 likes, so let's bump it up to 60 likes is the goal for this video. I am your host, Chris Maltby, and today I am joined with my co-host, Jaylen McClinton. Jaylen, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Happy to see who's on the roster, actually. I'm sad about one person not making it, but other than that, pretty not surprising at all about the, people who made the roster.
Yeah, so we're going to start off by going through the cuts, talking about some players that we think could be eligible for the practice squad. Jaylen and I were talking about it before we hopped on this call. There's actually 16 spots eligible on a practice squad for the NFL this year, 12 of which are players and 4 of which are, quote, untouchables, where they can go back and forth between the active and the practice squad, the active roster and the practice squad, and can't be signed by other teams. So it's a decent designation if a player gets that. But first off, let's go through the cuts. So the Bears made 25 cuts today. I'm just going to read them off for you guys. Napoleon Maxwell, Artavis Pierce, Jesper Horsted, Rodney Adams, Reggie Davis, Alex Wesley, Ahmad Wagner, Thomas Ives, Lachavious Simmons, Sam Mustipher, Badar Traore, Corey Levin, Dieter Easelin, Lee Autry, Trayvon McSwain, Amir Abdullah, LeDarius Mack, one that a lot of people didn't want to see go, LaCal London, Isaiah Irving, Rashad Smith, Keandre Jones, Steven Denmark, Xavier Crawford, Cairo Santos, and finally, Kevin Toliver. So those are the 25. Definitely some ones that poke out a little bit, and there's also a couple players that are surprised that we were surprised to see make the roster. So Jaylen, I want to ask you, name one or a couple players that you were surprised got cut, because I know you were a big fan of Artavis Pierce as well as Kevin Toliver heading into 2020.
So it's a couple people that I'm surprised got cut. Like you said, Kevin Toliver and Artavis Pierce. Obviously, people are big fans of. This offseason, Kevin Toliver. I've been a big fan ever since he came onto the Bears recently. But I'm surprised Jesper Horsted got cut as well. Eric Sauber made the roster over him. Somebody we acquired late, in last season, making the roster over somebody who we converted to tight end and. Who made a couple big plays last season, mainly against the Lions that Mitchell dropped the dot to. But that's about it. I'm not surprised about anybody else, but those were the main three that kind of shocked me.
Yeah, I think when I look at it, the one player that surprises me that didn't make it, is definitely Jesper Horsted, a player who got a decent bit of opportunity last year. When he was given the opportunity to play, and he capitalized on those opportunities that he had. So it's a little bit of a surprise to me. The Bears ended up keeping Eric Saubert, I believe, on the roster. And Horsted was someone who I thought had done enough last year in playing 6 games. Only 8 receptions, 87 yards, and 1 career touchdown. But that being said, and believe me, I'm still working on it, saying that being said, but that's the first time I've said it. But I expected Jesper was going to make it. I hope he's one of those exclusive players that gets on the practice squad. Similar to you, Jaylen, Artavis Pierce is an interesting one for me. Thomas Ives is someone who fought really hard, and then obviously LeDarius Mack. Khalil had said some great things about him, like obviously you can't come out and trash your brother, but LeDarius Mack is someone who I expected probably to make the practice squad, if I'm being honest with you. So there's still an opportunity of that, but I guess a sliver of me thought just because of his last name he was going to make the 53-man roster. So, yeah, and then also the contract of Tyler Bray was terminated, and I'm sure we're going to see him back at some point. So let's take a look now at the 53-man roster. There's a couple surprises there as well, so let's just hop right into it. The quarterbacks, Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. Running backs, 4, Tariq Cohen, David Montgomery, Ryan Nall, good for him, and Cordero Patterson. 6 wide receivers, Anthony Miller, Darnell Mooney, Riley Ridley, Allen Robinson, and then both the receivers, one of them was rumored to maybe get cut but didn't, so we've got both Ted Ginn Jr. and Javon Wims to close off the 6 receivers. A lot of people made fun of the Bears earlier in the year for having a ton of tight ends. We said we thought they were going to slim it down to 4 or 5. It's 5. Jimmy Graham, Demetrius Harris, J.P. Holtz, Cole Kmet, and Eric Saubert. 9 offensive linemen for the Bears, Alex Bars, Rashad Coward, James Daniels, Arlington Hambright, Jermaine Ifedi, Charles Leno, Bobby Massey, Jason Spriggs, and Cody Whitehair. Only going with 5 defensive linemen in Roy Robertson, Harris, Akeem Hicks, John Jenkins, Bilal Nichols, and Brent Urban. Inside linebackers, a really good story for Josh Woods. He makes the team yet again. Joel Iubuniwe, however you say that. Roquan Smith and Danny Trevathan. Outside linebackers, Trevis Gibson, the 5th-round pick out of Tulsa. Khalil Mack, Barcavius Mingo, Robert Quinn, and James Vaughters. Another kind of surprise one there. Cornerbacks, they go with 5 after moving on from Toliver and also having Artie Burns on IR. So they got Kyle Fuller, Jalen Johnson, Duke Shelley, a little bit of a surprise there. Buster Screen and Kendall Vildor, a prime special teams player who can play all along that defense. And then 5 safeties, Deion Bush, DeAndre Houston Carson, Tashawn Gibson, Eddie Jackson, and Sherrick McManus. I tip my cap to him for making the roster yet again. And then obviously the 3 special teamers with Pat O'Donnell, Eddie Pinheiro, and Patrick Scales. Jalen, same question as before. Any surprises here to you for players that made the roster?
No, like I said, other than Eric Saubert, no, that's about it. You know, a lot of people are familiar names, obviously other than the rookies, but a lot of these familiar names that made the roster, I feel like coming into training camp, they were going to make it.
Yeah, looking at this, there aren't that many surprises for me. Eric Saubert's definitely one that stands out. I'm glad that the wide receiver room panned out how it did.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Nall, you got to tip your cap to him as well. Also, Arlington Hambright, a 7th-round pick. Alex Bars, someone we've been talking about on the show for a while, getting an opportunity. He's finally going to get a chance to step in. And I think that is pretty much about it for my concerns. But before we close this one off, we got one last thing to discuss. Obviously, the Bears made 25 cuts, and we already spoke a little bit about the practice squad. But, Jalen, which players do you think the Bears need to try as hard as possible to bring back onto this practice squad? I can go first if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just name them. I was trying to count how many, but...
No, just name a couple that you think are essential.
Kevin Toliver, of course, because this death at cornerback, is still kind of iffy unless we claim somebody off waivers tomorrow. Artavis Pierce, Jesper Horsted, probably bring back Latavius Simmons due to he was being one of our draft picks and just be there to be on the practice squad. And Thomas Ives, I would say. Those okay. 5 off the top of my head are probably the ones I would definitely bring back.
Yeah.
And LeDarius Mack, excuse me. I totally forgot about
to add on to what you said, obviously, LeDarius Mack, I think Thomas Ives is a solid one. Ahmad Wagner's one that stands out to me a little bit at wide receiver / tight end. He's a big body. He used to play college basketball at the University of Iowa, a player that definitely is pretty solid and has a lot of upside. Dieter Easelin, another one, an undrafted free agent out of Yale I liked a lot coming into this training camp. Had some really good training throughout his time in the Ivy League. And then finally, one more for me. I mean, it's pretty obvious because we don't know the status of Eddie Pinheiro. It's got to be Cairo Santos. I think you have to have 2 kickers on this roster in some sense. So that'll pretty much do it for episode number 78 of Uncut. You heard us go through all of the 25 roster cuts that the Bears made, as well as the entire 53-man roster. We discussed the surprises for us on both ends of those. And, now it's time to get out there with the guys we have and get onto the field. So if you want more content from us, do us a favor, head over to bearddown.com. You can find content from us on there, columns, articles, and blogs, all that good stuff. There's a ton of extra content for you guys over there. You can also follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter, at Beared Down. And you can also find the link to me and Jalen's fan pages down in the description For what it's worth, Jaylen just posted on his fan page yesterday for the first time legitimately since May 7th. So there's that to look forward to as well. But Jaylen McClinton, it's been like 6-7 days in a row recording. Any last words, man?
Like what Chris said, I'm trying to post on my fan page more. I haven't posted on there like he said since May something, but I feel like I had to post about Mitchell Trubisky being named the starting quarterback, and since I've been supporting him so much, I feel like I had to, and I'm trying to post back more on my Bear Down Twitter account and stuff like that. But other than that, Bear Down season's 8 days away for us, 5 days away or something 5 days away from
the kickoff.
The kickoff of the actual NFL season. I cannot wait. I'm super excited and Bear Down.
I'm real excited as well. Now we're just taking down the time. We're in game week. We're prepping. We have our 53-man roster, and it is time to go. I'm not sure if you guys will see a video on Sunday. If the practice squad is announced, we might make a little video on them, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen tomorrow. We might take a day off, Normally our slogan is everything Bears every day of the week, but we've been busting our balls this week trying to get videos out, and we're definitely going to be back soon. Might make a short video explaining what our uploads are going to be like during the season because it's a lot different for us. And that'll pretty much do it. Once again, my name is Chris Malpe. It's been a pleasure to be your host. It's been a fun ride. Bears fans, do us a favor if you made it this far. Smash a like on this video. Also subscribe. We're trying to gain 196 subscribers in the next 8 days. So do us a favor. Help us out if you are new to the channel. And that'll pretty much do it. Stay safe and bear down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.